ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft Season 6. Today, we're starting things off at Sahara, and I have a new mega project for this wonderful store. And I think I've come up with an idea for an extension to Sahara that is going to make us even more diamonds. I'm on a quest, ladies and gentlemen. Sahara must break even. Before we get started, I just want to take a quick peek of the sales. Grian has still not submitted them, but I did ask Grian and he has sold 3 of them, just like I thought in the last episode. And Mambo still hasn't sold a single one. I feel really bad for him now, because he built a really cool thing over here. Just look at this thing. This is epic. He did like a piston feed tape, really cool billboard thing right over this, and this, I think this spun around and it says Sahara now on it. There's only one slight issue with it though, and that is the fact that it needs to be chunk loaded. So when no one is here, it actually stopped, and yeah, that was that was the end of that. In addition, Mambo also did a campaign where a zombie killed him over and over again for like a full day here on the server. I'm not kidding. It was the entire day, just messages in chat. And the messages read that Mambo had been slain by Sahara now open, message me for a membership or something like that. It was absolutely genius. So I feel a little bit sorry for him that he hasn't made any sales yet, but maybe he has secretly made sales and not just submitted it to the chest at this moment in time. And while we're on the topic of marketing, before we start our mega project here, I have received a message from Rendog saying that he has put up Sahara signs on the racetrack. If you don't remember, I made an investment from Sahara to buy that racetrack's rights and campaigns and all that stuff, so that we would have our name all over it. And I'm not gonna lie, I am super excited to go over there and see what he has done. Oh my goodness, look at this! Yes! We got the yellow stripes, we got the nice Sahara colors, and oh, that is looking fantastic. Oh, hello there. I love it. I love it. I don't know about you guys, but that ice investment, that feels pretty good right now. I'm not gonna lie, like, this is massive presence at a mega minigame over on the other side of the map. And what in the world? Ren is standing there. BWO is here, racing. Okay, I'm just gonna follow these people randomly without saying anything. This feels kind of weird. Oh, Iskall, I'm up. Okay, so I guess I get a boat and I plunk it. I like the yellow here. By the way, very nice Sahara touch. Hit the button when you're ready. Okay, so here we go. Hit the button, and I love the Sahara touch. Here we go. Oh, off we go. Okay. I love this Sahara Sahara marketing. That's what it's called. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is super tough, but also super fun. This is my first ever lap on this thing, so I guess I should try and keep on the blue ice. And that is a lot harder than it looks. Look at that though. Sahara for the win. Oh no, I made a bad bump there. Did Ren say not looking good? Slow around the cliffs, not looking good. And then he said not bad, not bad. Right, well, what time did I get? Oh my goodness, that is a really good time. 646430 is the best. Sahara power! These Swedes thinks that they can race. Ren, I'm 2 nuggets off your time, dude. Oh, this is worse. I crashed in the corner. No. There's a horse on the racetrack. This is gonna be so much worse. There's a horse on the racetrack. You gotta be kidding me. There was a horse on the racetrack. I had to dodge. Bonus points, please. I mean, look at this thing. It's standing right in the middle of the racetrack. Oh my goodness, Ren. You didn't have to kill it. He got it off the track and he still killed it. Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm super addicted to this now. This is what I will be doing for the next hour or so. I ended up spending another 2 hours at the racetrack, and I never beat the first time that I got So I'll definitely be back and raise some more. But that is good news, because the Sahara banners that Ren has put up are absolutely amazing looking. And that means that other people are going to be addicted and come back and play as well. It was so much fun. But we are back at Sahara now because I want to get started with today's project, which is going to be a really big project. And it's probably not going to get done today, but I'm hoping to at least get started. So I've collected a bunch of materials that I'm going to need for this build. And I also need to do some concrete blasting, because as you guys know, building anything with Sahara is just a concrete nightmare. So I've got together a lot of the powder, gray, dark gray, and white. I got a lot of cyan terracotta, and I got even more of this stuff here. Yeah, look at this. So I got over 2 shulker boxes full of concrete powder, and so far I've done this part manually, which took me way longer than it should. So I think what I'll do next, before I can start laying down blocks, I'm gonna head over to Mumbo's perimeter base and use his TNT blast chamber for concrete. Every time I come here, I just appreciate how absolutely cool this entire place looks. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I would love to have a perimeter of my own. Look at these vines. That is actually hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. But anyway, yeah, this place looks absolutely gorgeous. I am absolutely loving this thing, and I'm just done with the last piece. So I got 1 full white, half a full gray. I thought I had more than this, but hopefully, oh no, I have another half white box over at Sahara that was already made up. Okay, hopefully that's gonna be enough. I don't have my hopes up though. The concrete when building stuff at Sahara goes really quickly. So back at Sahara, now that all the prep work has been done and I hopefully got all the resources, I can finally start working on my extension of Sahara. Now I realize that I still haven't told anyone what my idea for this extension is actually going to be used for, so here goes nothing. No one in the shopping district is selling concrete. No one is selling concrete because it is a hassle to make. You need a lot of different things. So you need to craft it together in different steps where you need to dye the sand and the gravel, and then you need to harden it. And yeah, it's just a hassle. But I think I've come up with an idea for a concrete making factory at Sahara, which, I mean, everybody loves concrete. Everybody loves concrete. I think we can all agree. So if we could sell massive amounts of it, we're gonna make massive amount of diamonds. Stonks. To make this happen, we need a mega platform. So time for a third-person time-lapse. So the way I deal with new big projects in Minecraft is usually that I will go into my creative test world and I will test, build, and see how big a project will be, and I then go into my survival world or into Hermitcraft and I find a space where I can build it. This was very different because, first of all, I didn't really know exactly how big this thing was going to be. I didn't want to build it fully in creative because it was a lot of repetitive redstone stuff, but I knew that it was going to be rather large. But the biggest challenge was the fact that there is, or was so very little land at Sahara, and we didn't really have any area that we had claimed where I could build this thing. So the very first thing I had to do was to extend this pathway over here and remove the full mountain and the mountain with Grian's observatory. Is it an no, telescope. It's not an observatory. Yeah, I had to remove the mountain, both on the side and the one that Grian's telescope is standing on. And very quickly, about around here, I started discovering that I would not have anywhere near the amount of space I needed for this build. It's just absolutely impossible. There's simply no space. So I decided that I'm probably gonna have to extend it out over this giant water, and I tried a few different things and I had a lot of ideas for how I was gonna make that work, and in the end I decided to do a giant box sticking out. And to be honest, I think this turns out really cool. It's kind of, it goes in line with Sahara with having very sharp edges and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, the view that we got over this place is just absolutely fantastic. Now this obviously meant that I had to get a lot more concrete than the original concrete I was getting, or I was aiming for, and I also decided to lay down concrete powder both on the floor and on the side, so that I later, as you can see here in a second, and it's super satisfying to watch, by the way. Oh, I was attacked by phantoms here. It was a pretty bad night. But yeah, so that I could later fill it with water. Look at how satisfying this looks. I mean, that's... I miscounted. I miscounted it. There's a hole in the middle. That's pretty bad, but eventually, anyway, I managed to fix it, and I ended up with this giant platform of doom to build my project on, and I still didn't know if this was gonna be big enough. I was crossing my fingers. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think this view is really cool to have from Sahara. There used to be like a mountain that went up 3 blocks here, so you couldn't see anything. But now we've kind of opened up the whole thing, and I feel that that looks really, really good. But most importantly, we got the mega platform that I want to raise the next Sahara building in, and we're gonna start right away. I want to create a redstone contraption that can give me any die that I point at or that I choose, and it should give it to me really, really fast. And the way we're going to achieve it is using droppers and some math. And so we want 1 stack of die per button press. We want to go up and press a button and then get a stack of die. And so to do that, this should actually not be too hard. I want to put down 1, 2, 3, 8 droppers. Why have I made this building so big then? Wait a minute. I'm totally winging the positioning of this, even though I should really measure it out. But let's try this. So we got 8 droppers. If we could now pulse these 8 times, they would drop 8 items each. 8 times 8 is 64. And there is actually a surprisingly easy way to do that. All we need is observers going down like this. Now, if I put an observer like that and a piston like that to create a clock, and we power them now, they are going to be outputting quite a few more things, I would think. Let's refill these and see what that does. That should give me something like 48 maybe? No, 40. Okay, 40. So now we're very close in getting them to drop 64 items super, super quickly. This time, instead of using a stone button, if I use a wooden button, I have a feeling that I'm going to get exactly 64. Let's see if that is true. Oh, that is so satisfying. We got 64! Nice! Now that is how we're gonna get dice super quickly to the player. There is a Concorp spy, well, that's a Sahara security, not a Concorp spy, inside my elevator. But what's funnier is that there's also a pig and another llama. I don't understand. How did all of you get in this one spot? I did not push them in, I swear. Now that we got a way to get a stack of dice in 1 click super quickly, we need to also make sure that we can restock the dice or refill the dice, because we can't access the hoppers from above. So I'm thinking we'll put hoppers on the side, and then I'm gonna run rails over top. So if I connect this line up right here, I should have now got a system that will restock the droppers evenly, and then we take a comparator output from the last one, and when it reaches signal strength 3, which is, I don't know, a substantial amount of dice in the system, this lamp should come on. The system would work without it. I just thought it's a good indicator. We also need to power this rail like that, and then we need a lever for now, I guess, right there to restock. Okay, so this would be the die box, and this here would be a yellow module. This should also be completely tileable so that we can place them next to each other. That's very important. But first things first, let's see if this works. Oh, and you know what? You know what I forgot? There's something missing here. We need a minecart. Yep, it's strange to me too. How can you forget the most important part of a puzzle? So hopper minecart goes there, and that should be sucking out items from our input at a quick pace. And now if I send this off, I don't know if that light is going to come on. I don't think it will. So now I should just still be able to do this. That is so satisfying. That is so satisfying. 63? Hello? What? Oh, we got 1 left in there. Right, we're gonna give this another go and see if that was just a fluke or a random thing, or if it happens every single time. So here we go. Do we get 64 this time? 64. Okay. I don't know if like server lag will maybe cause this to not work. Sometimes that would be really, really annoying, because that doesn't make any sense that that dropper didn't shoot 1 more out. But anyway, I think we got a working module. Just out of curiosity, how many stacks of die do I need in here in order to turn on that light? Okay, not much. Not much at all, actually. That's good. I am kind of curious because I am a person that don't really enjoy repetitive stuff in life. I like to start new things, and sometimes I don't really finish them. But when it comes to doing a redstone project, I really love doing it in layers after layers, so it gets super repetitive, but to me it's just super satisfying. I mean, just look at this thing coming together layer by layer, side by side. I don't know, is that just me, or is that a weird thing? One thing that is not as satisfying is when you do that and then run out of materials though. Anyway, things are going absolutely great. I got this entire side done, and I found the most satisfying thing ever. Yes! This thing is gonna be super addictive for a certain person I know that is part of the architects. It's gonna be very addictive, I think. And with these buttons, I think that is that side completely finished as well. This is next level satisfaction. I love that clicking sound. I love it. Okay, so now I have to get some more packed ice because I am completely out and I have to work out the waterway. So the idea is that the items gets dropped here. We then send them through some waterway, and I would want everything to sort of come up in the center here. So one dye side is now completely done, and if I press this button here, I'm going to get 64 pretend brown dye at this speed. I mean, look at that. And that's one full stack of brown dye. That is so very satisfying. I love this thing. There's only one slight problem. When I constructed this, I completely forgot about the gravel and the sand. I was simply going to have one gravel line here and one sand line here, but I completely forgot to consider that you need 4 stacks of gravel and 4 stacks of sand per craft. And I want all of the things to craft 8 stacks of powder to be shot up to the player within seconds. So what I've done is I've installed this line down here, and this line actually triggers every time I press any of the dye buttons. And the idea is that I should be able to make a T flip-flop, something like this, and we should be getting exactly 8 pulses out of that, if I've understood this correctly. So let's try this again. That was 8 pulses. Hopefully. I think that was 8 pulses. I wonder if this will work. So that is a T flip-flop, and in theory I have 4 times 8 droppers that should shoot out 8 items each, and that should give us 4 stacks of iron blocks. I got 0 iron blocks in my inventory. Let's give this a try. Please work. That's a lot of blocks being shot out. Nope, I did the math wrong. I got 2 stacks, so there are 4 left in each. Yeah. Okay, so here we go again. There's 8 blocks in each dropper, and will this work? Yeah, that leaves it behind. That's a lot of iron blocks. Is it 4 stacks? This is looking good. This is looking a lot better. It is 4 stacks. Yes. Yes. So now we get 1 stack of the dye and 4 stacks of whatever we stock in here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have spent the majority of 2 days building this project. Not just building the project so much as gathering resources. I think I've used a ridiculous amount of observers and hoppers into this project, but I think we're finally at a point where this actually works. So I've just filled the system. We have gravel in here, we've sand in here, and if I now order, and I also have light blue dye here. If I now order light blue dye, I should get a perfect craft amount of light blue concrete. So pushing the button, stand down here, and my inventory, please. Yep, look at that. Look at that. That was pretty quick. So I got 4 stacks of gravel and 4 stacks of sand and 1 stack of light blue dye. I'm not sure how fast that was, but that felt very, very fast to me. Now I gotta say, this looks seriously cool. This thing looks seriously cool. Except for these 2 blocks. These 2 blocks was very annoying. But yeah, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, of course, we're gonna put a building around this, but from a technical standpoint, this is pretty much done. The auto crafter for dyes and sand and gravel is pretty much done. I need to fit a crafting table there, and I'm probably gonna do the water stream so that everything comes up there and have crafting tables next to it. I think, I'm not entirely sure about that yet, but that should be simple. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of a walkway to cover up these observers and to make it easier to reach the shulker boxes with the dice, etc. when that's to be restocked. Now I want to try this thing one more time. So I've stocked the sand in there and I've stocked the gravel in there, and that's all going in. And then I'm gonna stock the light blue dye in there. I mean, this thing is just a blast to work with. And of course, the idea is that we fill all of these dyes up, and we fill the gravel and the sand up to the brim as well, so that we have a lot of stock in this thing. But let's send these away, and let's send you away so that we can get the satisfaction once again. I don't know what it is with fast clicking droppers, but they are very, very satisfying to listen to. I mean, seriously, listen to this. Oh, it's amazing. It's just unbelievably amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it, and that worked perfectly again. I'm seriously thinking that it takes less than like 4 seconds to fill up the stuff I need for 8 stacks of concrete. And you may be asking yourself, what about the dice? Where are Sahara gonna get all the dice from? Well, I've got a little bit of a plan. First things first, Stress and Sahara now have a deal. Remember how she made an ink farm and she's now delivered. Dear Sahara peeps, here is the ink for you to sell per our agreement. P.S. Can I have the shulker boxes back, please? Oh my goodness, this is a lot of ink that she has delivered. That is really, really nice. So that covers the black dyes, the gray dyes, and the light gray dyes. Now for the more colorful dyes, I think we have an architect hippie friend that has been working on a lot of colorful things over at Area 77 or the hippie hideout, and hopefully he'll be able to, or he'll be willing to help us out. So I've made my way over to the hippie camp outside Area 77, and I gotta say, that giant mushroom that Rendog has built and all of these mushrooms, it's looking really, really cool over here. I really, really like it. And then not to speak about the giant RV in a tube, I also very much like that. But this is what I heard rumors of. This is apparently Grian's redstone project. Yep, Grian's redstone project. Grian has done redstone. And I mean, I gotta say, it looks very organized. More importantly, yes, he has a lot of the different dyes and sugarcane and oxides and all that stuff that we need in order to fill the concrete factory. Now I think we can all agree that I have been pretty successful in charming people lately with all the Sahara Now membership sales. To charm Grian, I've got an idea. I've got these. Dear Grian, Sahara is in need of lots of different dyes. All colors except black. Can you help out? Iskall 85. I mean, this just speaks to Grian. This just speaks to Grian. It also looks pretty cool. I must admit, I may be falling for the signs. So hopefully Grian will get the message and be able to supply us with dyes. Because, I mean, in all seriousness, is that the flower farm? Is that a sugarcane farm doing bone meal to power the flower farm? I mean, this is a pretty big flower farm. I imagine he's gonna get lots and lots of dyes from this. Anyway, that's going to do it for today though, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit the like button down below. And if you're brand new, consider subscribing. And I will see you dudes in the next episode. Yep, by the way, I totally made 22 more diamonds on this game. This game is the greatest. Oh, and yeah, I know that Sahara is out of stock. I know that we've been pretty bad at restocking the thing, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried my hardest to keep up with demands, but we certainly need to be a lot better at it. So, in between episodes, I'm going to really make a push and try and stock Sahara as much as I possibly can. Now, there are a lot of things to stock. I'm gonna start with rockets and golden carrots and the things that we actually have income of. But yeah, I'm gonna do my absolute best. Absolute best.